My name is Dr. Michael Annett. I have qualified from the Aix-Marseille University with not only a degree but also a master's and a doctorate in law, taxation and financial engineering. Our activity is generally based with regards to the totality of somebody's financial wealth, irrespective of the manner in which this is composed, in order to look at how to best structure it with regards to law and taxation of the various countries, in our case, France. We speak English and French here at the practice, therefore we're able to assist anybody who's a foreigner coming to France. Our client base is predominantly foreigners establishing themselves in France, but obviously we do have many French people who have worked their entire lives outside of France and who are coming back into France. Our biggest problem is being in contact with people at the right moment in their financial planning, because all too often we're contacted once things have been done or in the process of being done. Ideally, obviously, like all these things, the adage is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. The point of contact, as far as we're concerned, is before anything is done with regards to a move in France. In that way, we are able to deal with absolutely everything with regard to that move, right from the moment that the property is possibly found, in order to see how best even that can be acquired. For example, whether it should be acquired in the name of the people who are ultimately the owners, or via the use of a company, which in France can be quite advantageously, not only from a legal point of view, but fiscally, and also for the children who ultimately would become the inheritors. The wider aspect of the company is to look at the totality of somebody's wealth. In France, obviously, property investments are quite predominant. Therefore, it's to look at the manner in which the properties are held. Therefore, looking at also the manner in which the investments are held, because they can be held in different formats. They can be held directly or through different vehicles. And as a result of that, on one side, create the entire financial structure to their patrimoine. Secondly, that it is structured in the most tax efficient manner. And thirdly, in a manner which is legally advantageous, so as to enable the spouse that survives the first death to retain control over those assets in order to safeguard their future, but also whilst ensuring the tax is mitigated with regards to distributions to the children, ultimately when the second parent dies. One of the big questions that we're asked is to do with investments, as to what we're allowed to do. And that is it's a delicate situation, because the financial advisor is not allowed to manage a portfolio for a client. He can advise what funds the client should go into initially, but he can't then manage the portfolio. For example, ring the client and say, I think you need to move out of that fund and go into something else. That is not allowed. The financial advisor can, however, at the request of the client, review the portfolio and make suggestions. All of that therefore creates an issue with regards to clients who have large investments. As a result of that, we delegate all of our financial portfolio management to the big houses. We use the big names, Morgan Stanley, in the UK and in France. We use Tocqueville, Rothschilds, and all the other big companies that are available, who do the management in concert with us, because we establish what it is that the client needs or wants in terms of the way the portfolio is to go. We agree the right strategy with the client and the asset manager, and we obviously monitor it. We're not prevented to monitor the portfolio. The exclusion is in giving the advice on it. And with the client and the asset manager, we therefore keep an eye on how the portfolio is progressing, and as things develop, either fiscally or otherwise, we make suggestions to the asset manager, who either takes them on board or not, in function of the mandate he's been given by the client. With regards to our clients, whilst it's true that we deal with a lot of foreigners, we do obviously deal with a lot of French people, also in France, and our client base is entirely national. We can't distinguish any particular area in France in which we do or don't deal with. We deal with absolutely everyone. We tend to deal with only portfolios over $500,000, but we do deal with absolutely anyone, whether it's on a punctual request, dealing only with investments, only with tax, only with a legal issue, or whether it's entirely global, having a complete audit and potentially looking at restructuring anything for life in France. Our activities are principally based on the three main poles of investments, finance, tax and law. As far as investments and finance are concerned, we obviously deal with all investments, not only in terms of how to invest them, what product to use, whether products are in fact needed, and therefore ultimately through the asset managers, the investment themselves. We also deal with pensions, any life insurance, protection products, healthcare, anything that's related to insurance, and all risk insurance we don't deal in-house with directly. We have obviously a partner with whom all that goes through. On the tax side, we deal with all the taxes: income tax, capital gains tax, wealth tax, social charges. We can advise on fiscal residency, which is usually the first port of call. People come to us asking, how do things work in France? Do we need to register in France? How do we declare our income? What income does need to be declared? How is that income going to be taxed? And so on. It's quite involved, and this is why France is quite open in that sense to a lot of different parameters and means of doing things in order to reduce the tax. Obviously it can't be avoided, but certainly reduce the impact of taxation. The third pole is the legal pole. We are registered in order to be able to do all acts which do not require to be signed in front of a notaire. Therefore we can draw up statutes for accounts, we can do wills, and we can do a number of other things which are related to successions in order to help,
successions?
With regards to successions, in order to be able to further help the devolution of the estate and its ultimate management by the children in a manner which is equitable for them. We're based in the south of France, in the Luberon, at a village called Ile-sur-la-Sorgue, renowned for being the second largest town for dealers in antiques in Europe. We are, as far as access is concerned, we can be accessed via the motorway networks, and this assists us not only with the motorways but also with the trains of being able to deal with clients all over France, whether they come to us or we go to them. Evidently there's an advantage in clients coming to us because we save on the travel time, therefore we're able to assist more people, but sometimes there are necessities whereby we do go and visit clients. Our basis of charging is threefold. One, fees. We are professionals. We do not give free initial meetings. We charge for the time we give because we give factual information, factual advice. The three main means of charging are therefore fees, commission, or a combination of the two. In order to find us, the easiest way is the website, pelicanconsulting.fr in French, pelicanconsulting.com in English. On there is an inquiry form which comes through directly to us. It has a preferential routing system so that we get them quick. Otherwise it's phoning. The telephone number is 0490 386601, and from there we can give you our email address, which we don't divulge initially, obviously, in order not to be inundated with spam mail. Being a socially orientated company, we can be found on the social networks, Google+, Facebook and Twitter, and you can also email us directly via Rootstock ads. The French fortunately have one website which is available to the public to check on whether advisors are regulated. This is the ORIAS, O-R-I-S, Organisation pour le registre des intermédiaires en assurance. This site will register at the moment, as things stand today, whether somebody is regulated as 1, a broker in assurance and insurance, 2, a financial advisor, and 3, in banking operations. Evidently, one of the issues is to clearly understand what it is each of these 3 activities is capable of doing, and it's fairly simple. A broker in assurance and insurance has only the right to be able to furnish a contract in insurance or assurance. The distinction between insurance and assurance is that insurance is for risks and assurance is for investments. Therefore, the broker can choose a contract according to the client's profile, which is best suited for him. But that is all that they can do. They can do no more. They can't advise on the funds to hold within the contract. They can give information with regards to what funds are and explain details about the funds, the tax of the contract, how it works and so on, but they can't advise on which funds to hold. Contrary to that, you have the financial advisor. The financial advisor, he is able to advise on which funds to use. However, he is not a broker. Therefore, you need the 2 activities of broker and advisor in order to be able to have someone that can not only source the contract that is best appropriate, but also the funds to go with it. The third category, which is banking operations, is, as the title implies, anything to do with banks, therefore accounts, saving accounts and loans. Likewise again, that is a little bit more open in terms of interpretation, but the financial advisor is the one who advises. The banking operations merely does the sourcing of the item, the contract, the plan, whatever. One of the main advantages of regulation is that you, the investor, are protected in all ways. You have recourse legally back to the advisor that gave you the incorrect advice, and you have recourse to the insurance company. You also have recourse to the ombudsman, and you have recourse in the sense that you have access to the insurance company behind the assurance company for investments and the broker themselves. Without going through a regulated broker, or more importantly one that's regulated for the activity being undertaken, none of that protection is in place, whether it be from the broker, the advisor, the insurance company, or indeed the ombudsman. Nothing. The client is entirely exposed and suffers the loss solely. In concrete terms, the typical situations with which we're faced in helping people out of problems is somebody, for example, who is in their mid-70s or early 70s or something like that. There's been a death in the family, the spouse is deceased, and they go see an advisor and they're advised to put their money in funds or shares. Obviously, shares and funds, the values can go up or down. Now, in some cases that may be appropriate, but in some cases the financial stability of the client may be fairly delicate, and putting them into investments where they could lose the value of the investment is wrong. We have at the moment one client for whom we're helping, who was advised by a bank. The husband has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, the wife has taken over the investment, and they've been advised to put investments predominantly in share-based funds. The problem is that the wife needs the income, so she has to have income in order to be able to pay for the nursing home for the husband. And obviously with shares that go up and down in value, that may not be the case. Therefore, we're trying to assist in annulling the operation in order to have the funds placed in investments which are guaranteed, therefore the capital cannot drop, where the income again has levels of guarantee as to its amount and perennity, so as to make sure that the client is secure in the knowledge that she has got the income that she needs to pay for the husband's care, and also that the capital is entirely secure. Being a socially orientated company, we can be found on the social networks, Google+, Facebook and Twitter, and you can also email us directly via Rootstock ads. If you do like this video, please do share it with your friends by clicking on the share button under the video.